up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and this is your I don't know, it's nothing. I've been trying to wait for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to post, but they haven't posted it yet. And I'm not gonna be looking all over town for it or whatever. I need to change my glasses. That glare is really was bothering me on the last video, and I should have took my glasses off. I kept looking at them. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. I didn't even know you stopped by. Like, subscribe, and what? Girl, what did you just say? Yeah, so, yeah, I was just talking about, on the last video, just like how, like, we need to be, like, teaching younger kids, like elementary, like, love, self-love. I think self-love is like, self-love is like something, especially to little boys too, because they're not, like, in a society that tells you that you have to have sex with multiple women in order to validate your manhood. That's not an act of self-love. You fucking a whole bunch of women and thinking that that's going to make you a man, that is the antithesis of self-love. That's the opposite. The way you're abusing your body, like everything. I tell my sons, respect your body. Respect your body. And I always tell them, you are going to get advice from your friends whose caregivers have a different way of thinking. They're going to be taught different ways, and they're going to be taught ways of how to relate to girls, and they're going to expect you to relate to girls the same way. They're going to tell you that the more girls that you have sex with, the more of a man you are, and that is not self-love at all. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. You just putting your body through that, and like just women, and just, it's not love. That's not loving yourself. So we need to teach children self-love, and I think that for girls as well, they'll have less of those harsh experiences if you teach them very early. Love yourself. The love that you seek is always going to come from inside. You should never want or desire love so much from an external source that you are willing to dishonor yourself for it. You know what I mean? I think if we teach our children that, we can change the way they relate to one another. We really teach boys to men and girls to women really toxic ways of relating to each other. And I truly believe it comes from a lack of self-love. This external search for love that I see so many women doing, it's sad, because that's what we're taught. Even if you inadvertently, if you don't out and out say it, there's something inside of you that's looking for it. It's like, because you're taught that. It's just the programming. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So Cardi B's $4 million defamation lawsuit victory may impact how journalists, gossip sites, and YouTubers operate moving forward. This is from the Jasmine brand. Did Cardi B's latest court win against popular YouTuber Tasha K forever change the world of blogging? Last month, Cardi B made headlines after winning her libel case against blogger Tasha K. Cardi initially sued Tasha K back in 2019 for posting videos online about her filled with serious allegations, including claims that Cardi contracted STIs and once worked as a prostitute. The lawsuit resulted in jurors holding Tasha K legally liable for defamation, invasion of privacy through portrayal in a false light, um, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. She was ultimately ordered to pay $4 million for her actions. Reportedly, Cardi's historic win against Tasha K may have set a new legal precedent around libel and invasion of privacy between celebrities and media. Daniel Powell, a managing attorney at Mink Law, a firm that specializes in online defamation and harassment, recently spoke on Tasha K's court loss and said this lawsuit really should give YouTubers some pause if they think they're completely insulated from any repercussions from what they may say online. Part of the funds Tasha K was ordered to pay Cardi included $1.5 million in punitive damages. Powell seemingly shared this should be a warning for gossip YouTubers who have similar blogging style to Tasha K. He said punitive damages are not meant to compensate the plaintiff. They're intended to punish the defendant, to send a message to the community, to be a deterrent for future conduct like this. The jury verdict signals that jurors who represent society are recognizing the dangers that these attacks could cause. Following her win, against Tasha K, Cardi called out YouTube for unchecked behavior on their platform and said the constant lies reported as factual from journalists and bloggers have to end. However, due to the 1996 Communications Decency Act, Section 230, YouTube can't force its creators, bloggers, to live up to ethical standards that most journalists have to adhere to. Section 230 of the CDA states no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as a publisher or a speaker. Girl, well, I don't have nothing to worry about because I ain't no exclusive shit over here, honey. That shit done happened. It done developed, and your girl's just down here talking about it with y'all down to the windowsill, okay? Down to the windowsill, girl. Either Bonita Betrayal or Pearl, okay? No, but we ain't gossiping over here. We're just talking, giving our commentary on what's going on. So I don't have to worry about nothing like that. But the people who spill tea and drop exclusives, they're going to have to be mindful, have some integrity, or somebody who has time will, come after you. Just make sure the shit is true if you are dropping tea. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's the truth, what can they say? Well, you just don't like it. You know what I'm saying? You just don't like it. So, I do think it does set a precedent, but it's just a matter of the person who wants to sue you if they have time. Like Cardi B had time. Like some people would just be like, girl, whatever, let her go. But like that was a little obsessive. I was gonna say obsessive compulsive. It was a little obsessive, so that's a little different. But you see the people just doing like story after story after story, so many stories on one person. If the shit is not true, then if the person has time, they'll sue your ass, and then that will be that. Rihanna ASAP Rocky reportedly planned to marry in Barbados after the birth of the new baby. Oh, what a way to do it. The love story between Rihanna and ASAP Rocky just keeps getting sweeter and sweeter. Days after Fenty Beauty owner showed off her adorable baby bump, an insider on the matter reports that she and baby daddy ASAP Rocky are planning to tie the no. You guys need to correct this. Tie the knot after the baby's arrival. Social media has been in a frenzy since pop icon Rihanna and New York rapper ASAP Rocky officially announced the expected baby. The two have been photographed cozied and in love many times since making their relationship public. Source close to the expected parents report that definitely plan to get married, but not until the birth of the baby. Wow. I don't have any opinion about these women who, I mean, I think what we have to do is stop expecting these women to make good choices, or relatively what would look like a good choice in a partner, just because they have a lot of money. I mean, I think we have to come to the realization that the money does not change the mindset. And it was weird because Nicki Minaj was talking to Lala about Nicki Minaj was talking to Lala about, let the woman focus on her career. It was a message. It was a good message, but by saying let her choose the man that she wants, that's a great message based on, like, you go and do your career and you do all of the stuff, but the message was like, okay, choose the man that you want. That's perfect, right? But what about the quality? When does And like I said, to each his own, because what would not be quality for me would be quality for the next person, right? What's quality for Nicki Minaj is a registered sex offender. That's not quality for me. If I found out a man was a registered sex offender, I'm sorry that, and then found out how the story went and all of that. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, choose the man that you want, but what about the quality of the man? Like, when and that, I think that's where the disconnect comes. It's like, you have access. You would think your dating pool would bring in a better quality of man or a person, right? The quality of the person would be a little different, based on your access. But it's like, it's weird because it's like you go like this is who I want to marry. It's like, really? And like, having the amount of money means nothing, because even with ASAP Rocky, he has money. It's not like he's this broke ass dude. But this right here, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this right here is like, this is who I want. It's like, really? That's who you chose? And then you can't, like, I guess you, like, that's why I said I really didn't even want to say anything about Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, because it's like, I look at Nicki Minaj, but then it's at the same time, that's you having an expectation just based on nothing, literally. It's like, what is the expectation that Nicki Minaj would have partnered with and had a baby with a man, or married a man of a different stature than the one that she chose? Because just because she has money, reach, and access doesn't mean that her mentality isn't right there. Like, what do they have similar? Because I feel like you would marry somebody, y'all have similar values, similar interests, right? Similar morals, right? You guys you operating from a similar playbook. That's like that. I feel like that's who you would want to partner with. And these women that have access to money, why do they go and pick these guys? And then, like, that's the one you like. That's who you picked. You had access to all these dudes, and that's what you got. Somebody who can't even be around kids. Like, the kid can't have no kind of slumber party. They can't. And then then you as a public figure marry a sex offender, and then mad because you don't want your address a public record. Did nobody tell your ass to marry a sex offender, girl? And then I would want to know, like, yeah, you giving advice, but then look at how you applied that. Like, where did you apply the advice that you're giving? Right? Like, I get it, but I don't know. I don't know. I said Kanye West antics will increase because men like him have a pattern. All of a sudden, it's about his black children. Exactly. 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 Everybody's tired of his shit. Don't try and use, now you really trying to use, but I'm not talking about Kanye. I already talked about him. Oh, did you guys watch the Tinder Swindler on Netflix this weekend? I watched it. Infamous dating scammer Simon Leviev has been banned from Tinder and the release of Netflix documentary Tinder Swindler. The dating app said in a statement that Leviev is permanently banned due to using multiple identities to scam women into giving him millions of dollars while dating them. We have conducted internal investigations and can confirm he is no longer active on Tinder under any of his known aliases. As previously reported, Simon, whose real name is Sharman Hayut, conned women into giving him cash and credit cards by claiming his life was in danger and promised to pay them back. He also claimed he was the son of an Israeli billionaire, Lev Leviev, like a diamond realtor or something like that, diamond broker or something. But baby, what he was doing, he would scam one woman. He find these women, I don't, find them on Tinder, treat them to a really, 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 really nice 5-star date. Everything, show, fashions, money, everything. But he was using that money from another woman, and he kept doing it over and over and over again. And finally, a woman came out and said, a woman came out and she realized that this guy was scamming people, so she figured she had to get him back, so she took all of his clothes and was selling them on eBay and stuff like that. But he was scamming women out of a lot of money, and these women kept going to get loans for him. He was like, oh, thank you, baby, and doing this and that, and they would take them on dates, but he was taking them on dates with other women's money. With the last woman he scammed, he had her money. He would be calling her and saying, I'm in danger. Can you send me $40,000, this and that. These women would go out, get loans, send him $40,000. He said, okay, I'll pay you back. I'll pay you back. I'm really in a bind right now because they locked all my credit cards. Then he would send fake pictures of him and his bodyguard getting into a fight, and this idea that people were after him. So he played on this thing I need help, and can you help me? And then I love you, I love you. He even had one woman looking at apartments and stuff. And it's really sad because we sell little girls this dream, find your prince and you're gonna find him, and then you ignore all of these things. This woman took out loans 3 or 4 times for this man, and then he sends her a wire transfer and it never comes. They still have to pay those debts. They still have to pay those debts. It's crazy. So yeah, he finally got taken off of Tinder. Crazy, right? So crazy. Okay, what else? Oh, the woman who opened the first Durag store closes shop after being accused of not paying workers, starving her mother, and tweeting inappropriate things about her child. Um, Neighbors, a woman named Atria Lyons is bringing her historical Durag store to a close after tweets of her caused her character to be questioned. It is believed that negative feedback on social media is a result of the store's closing. Alleged audio messages appear to show Atria admitting to paying her workers less than what she agreed to. As if that isn't enough, another Twitter user recalled having to help Atria's mom because she left her to starve. Atria is incredibly selfish. Her mother called me after she stranded her at an airport, took the dogs, and cleared all the accounts. If you don't know, her mother is the reason she's on the up, not her. I will be burning all her do-rags later tonight. To make matters worse, tweets of her where she stated she would force her daughter to She will force her daughter to masturbate so that she will understand her body more. I only spelled it because it's in reference to a child, and no. What? So her store is closing. Um, this is the audio where she literally tells her workers she's going to pay them less than what she promised. This was the first, this was their first few days of employment, mind you. Okay, let's listen.
This is what's going to be paid because you guys did not deliver the amount of work that I needed. This was your first 2 weeks, and I basically had to train you guys all the way. There's times where all of you, both of you guys, are sitting around or on your phone or talking to other people in the workspace. What you were paid was the amount of time. That's what you're owed. It's no ifs, ands, or but. You can say legally or anything, but you have no paperwork binding me to my words. Verbal agreements mean nothing, so it's no legally nothing.
But you're on a recording admitting this.
Do not contact my phone anymore. If you have any questions, you can contact my grandmother. Do not speak to me anymore. Thank you. And again.
Oh, were you back?
I am not going to continue to keep having this conversation. I said what I'm going to pay, and that is what I'm going to pay. It wasn't a renegotiation. It was, this is what's going to be paid because you guys did not deliver the amount of work that I needed. This was your first 2 weeks, and I basically had to train you guys.
Not this was your first 2 weeks, and I basically had to train you guys. So what else is they going to do in their first 2 weeks? Just come in the store and start working? You was going to train them? Because you didn't know what the you were doing either. That's the gag of it. Girl, how you gonna tell somebody you're not gonna pay them what you told them you were gonna pay them because they didn't do the work that you didn't train them to do? I basically had to train you for the first 2 weeks that you were here. Duh. What you think? You guys were on your phones. Okay. Well, her store is closing down. It says, cleared her family's joint account that had over $50,000 in it, forcing her mom to go back to Atlanta and figure it out. Atria didn't even know the motherfucking security code to her own store. So what was she doing? Just taking the money and not really just create. I mean, you could have had, they said there was like luxury durags. They were like velvet and all that other stuff. And people had them. I remember when the story came out about this store. It's unfortunate that she just didn't. How you telling people that's what sent me when she said you didn't. Y'all basically had to train you for the first 2 weeks he was here. Listen, everyone. That's one thing. One thing we have to stop doing is selling this idea that everyone can be an entrepreneur. There is a certain personality type and a level of self-discipline that you must have in order to be an entrepreneur, a good entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur. This idea that everybody can do it is a falsehood, and y'all need to stop selling that to people. First of all, some people need to be workers. Some people don't have the personality to lead and be organized and be self-disciplined. They're just not everybody is like that. It takes a special person to be a successful entrepreneur. It really does. It is not for everybody. The same way being a doctor isn't for everybody. The same way doing landscaping is not for everybody. The same way people designing homes is not for everybody. Everybody cannot have their own business. It's just not it. Who's going to work then if everybody's a business owner? Come on, y'all. And like these people, some of your it's great that you have this growth and you want to be business owners, but if you don't have the mentality and the only thing that you're in business for is to have money and to look a certain way and to look apart, you're not really invested into developing a business that is going to have some longevity so that you can pass it down to whomever. Like you're not focused, you're just here for the YOLO moment, then what's going to happen? Your shit is going to get shut down and you're going to be looking crazy on the internet. I mean, and not everybody's business prospers. That's it. Some people keep trying and trying. Maybe she'll try and come back with another business or something. Good luck to that lady because, maybe she'll try something else. Maybe she'll try something else. Okay. Oh, here it is. Y'all agree? This is from the Neighborhood Talk. TK Kirkland says sex is for men who have accomplished something. If you ain't got $20,000 in your account, you don't deserve to have sex. That's what I said. That's why I said. Here we go. Let's listen to what T to the mother.
Men who have accomplished something.
Here we go.
Sex, love is for men who have accomplished something. If you ain't got 25,000 in your account right now, you don't even deserve to have sex. Wow. If you had 25, you don't deserve to walk up to a woman and destroy her life.
Right, and destroy her life.
So you gotta have 25,000 just to have sex. 25,000. Yeah, I believe you have that 25. Now here's the thing. Say that one more time, 'cause I've heard you say that before, and I don't know. Right, I don't think I disagree when you say sex is for people with. Imagine if you work hard all week, and Friday night, you like, I met Betty's or Karen. Man, I think I'll partake in some sex. Now you can take her to dinner and go to a nice movie, and seduce her. Don't think she's obligated because she's going out with you. Because women like to have a nice... Don't think she's obligated because she's going out with you. Because women like to have a nice time if the atmosphere is right, the car's smelling good, you got the right music going, you treating her like a lady. You'd be surprised. Sex, because she's going out with you. Because you treating her like a lady. You'd be surprised what can happen. But men don't take the time to invest, or they don't want to and they think if this one don't do it, it's a wrap. But it ain't.
What do you guys think about that? I think that's great. How much money you have saved before we can even have a conversation? How much money do you have saved? See, what happens is they done told y'all to get into relationships for love. But at the same time, tell you should be looking for somebody who can protect and provide. But then at the same time, you got these men thinking that women who are looking for men to protect and provide are also gold diggers. It's like so many crazy ass messaging that just creates so much conflict in relationships. But I agree with him. I don't care how much it is, how much money he has to have. He has to be doing for himself. A lot of these men get upset and they call you gold diggers in a way to discourage you and for you to drop and lower your standards in order for him to have access to you. See, if you raise your standards, yes, the access to men is going to decrease. The access to what type of man will decrease. And that also has to tell you something, that if you have these standards and there's not a lot of men that you have to choose from based on your standards, that does not mean lower your standards. It just means that there's not a lot of men to choose from who have the standards that you have. Don't change your standards. Don't lower your standards to give a certain type of man access to you. Don't do that. And if it looks like, oh, he has to have some money saved, or he has to have therapy or had gone to therapy, he has to have these things, don't change those things to bring yourself, and don't let anyone discourage you for having boundaries that serve you, having standards that serve you. These men want you to drop and lower your standards so that they raggedy asses can destroy your life. Like he said it. He's a comedian, and T to the motherfucking K might be as misogynistic as the next man. But I'm with him on this one. You can't have access to me unless you got some. But this idea that you have to be searching and looking for love, and literally when these people are on the streets doing interviews and asking women, all women, how important is money in a relationship, and all the black women say that it's not.
How important is money to you in a relationship? It's important.
It's not that big of a deal.
So you'll be with a broke person.
Not for
no money.
You have to try.
And you give them an allowance in the meantime?
I'm not gonna lie. I do a whole bunch of stupid shit when I'm in love.
Not important at all. I feel like them being in a relationship with me,
I could get them to where they need to be, so that money's not a problem.
Go, yo, ride or die. I know I'm not one for sure. I will never ride or die, but we have one right here. How important is money to you in a relationship?
It's everything. If you don't have any money, then, you know, it's just, what's the point?
Ooh. I mean, it's not the number one thing, but I'm not gonna lie, like, it's kind of important, but you don't have to have a lot of money, but at least have a plan to work toward getting money. Like, don't just be a bum ass dude sitting at home doing nothing.
You're not giving nobody no allowances.
Hell no. Get your ass a job.
Invest.
You have effectively lowered your standards to accept relationships with with just dust, built on a sandcastle. Money is important, and you shouldn't. I'm sorry if you don't want to feel like a floozy. You don't want to feel like, I don't want to feel a certain way because I'm not allowing a man access to me unless he has his shit together. That should be standard. Have you, like, literally, honestly, have respect for yourself. And as you're growing up, you teach the girls and the boys, have respect for your body. You're not just sleeping with a whole bunch of people. But after a certain time, after, you know, because when you get older, you should not be just anybody, just like, especially if you're at a certain level, you should not go to the gutter and be screwing in the gutter. You shouldn't. Just have some more respect for yourself, like literally. Whatever, however much the money is. And that's why that's how they get you. They tell you, go find a provider, protect and provide and all this other stuff. And then they discourage you because they say, if you're looking for protection and somebody to provide for you, you're actually clearly looking for somebody who has a stable foundation. And these men don't have stable foundations and will try to discourage you from trying to look for something that you have been taught your whole life to look for. And now they're telling you you're a gold digger because you're trying to have this that you've been sold to have. They don't want to step up to the plate, and too many women are allowing men access to them that do not deserve access to you. And if it looks like the form of having however much money in the bank account, if it looks in the form of him having this level of education or this level of accomplishment in his career, whatever that looks like, do not lower your standards to give men who do not deserve access to you. Whatever that looks like. Period. Okay. What else? Okay, I already talked about Columbus Short. I did. Spotify CEO condemns. Oh, this is too long. Okay, y'all. I'm going to come back for another video. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.